Hey, this is going to be another cheerful, happy, fluffy, sweet video about gender dysphoria. Um, so I tried to make this video before several times, and I thought I would just go on and talk until I finally finish, or I don't know, the universe grows cold. And I tried that and understood that the latter is more possible than me stopping somewhere. So I decided to split the whole topic in several videos, and I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of them. I'm not really sure. So this is going to be early childhood video, and well, I heard a lot of people talk about this subject, and they usually say something about their peers at their childhood, like the children they used to hang out with. Like, they mentioned that they used to play with like people from opposite sex, children from opposite sex and of opposite sex, and crap. This kitten is a fucking hunter. And they usually mention toys and clothes, and yeah, the area of interests. I'm not sure I will actually go and talk about these subjects, because my story doesn't really depend on those points. It's very different from I usually hear. And anyway, I'm going to mention those subjects too. So in my childhood, yeah, the toy thing, it didn't really exist, because when I was a child, the manufacturers, the toy manufacturers, they haven't really created yet all those tactics of targeting their toys for certain groups of people. And toys were just toys, and I used to have very different toys, like anything from cars and buses and trolleybuses. I love my trolleybuses, to stuffed animals and rubber animals. We used to have rubber animals, or like anything. And I played with all those toys. It didn't really matter. My favorite toy, like the one that gave me most joy in my childhood, were buttons. And because buttons, they just give you every opportunity in the world. They just lie in your palms, and you can do whatever. You can do anything and everything with buttons. So I really loved my buttons. And clothespins. Pins are just awesome. So yeah, toys were just toys when I was a kid. There was no this great divide between this is for boys and this is for girls. And then I guess it was also because of my mother, because she didn't really try to push the gender thing on me. She just bought me anything she could find, and anything I asked for, well, not everything I asked for, but anything. It didn't matter like where it belonged. And she was very into giving me like neutral toys, like some, I don't know, like I wasn't a toy, it was a book, but it was sort of like playbook or something, and it was like about like fantasy land of grammar. So you can, it wasn't the typical like doll and car thing. It was something like another. And Uh, the apart from that, I guess the main reason I didn't really feel anything, like I didn't really feel there was a gender, and I certainly didn't have any problem with it when I was a child, like until school. The reason for that, the main one, is that I grew up in a village, in a pretty small one, and there weren't many kids at that time, and certainly there weren't lots of kids in the village and like around my house, like on my street. The kids we had there, all of them happened to be girls, like maybe including me, maybe 6 children on the whole section of the village. So yeah, not so many kids. And I wasn't really very connected to them. I didn't really spend much time with them, because I was like this, I was really separated from other children. I was living inside my own skull with my, like, in my imaginary world with my imaginary friends and stuff like that. Then when I went to school, things started to change, but not much. First, like, I discovered that I was very much into learning and studying, so that became my, like, main focus, that and my imaginary world still. So I didn't, again, I didn't engage in either activities, like not in the girls' ones and not in the boys' activities. And yeah, that is something that is usually mentioned but by other people, like for example, if it's a woman talking, she says, yeah, like I used to play with the boys, we used to fight and like run and jump and stuff. Again, when I was a child, that like dangerous child behavior, it wasn't a boy thing, like everybody did it. I don't know, we used to spend our time on the roofs of some garage and stuff like that, and yeah, like trying to create an explosion, or like throwing sticks and stones and stuff like that. But I didn't really, again, well, I used to do those things, not like not especially like trying to be with boys or girls, because again, those activities, like many of them, like sometimes girls and boys, they play together, sometimes they would be doing the same stuff but separately, like this is a girl group, this is a boy group. And well, I spent my time in the girl group doing the same stuff, and there were some other like more girly activities, like some games involving talking, like asking and answering questions, stuff like that, or like, I don't know, like painting, maybe some dolls, something like that. But it wasn't like a big part of my life. My life mostly consisted of yeah, like studying at school, and how do you say, yeah, well, not only in school, because I started to read a lot, and yeah, I went crazy with like astronomy and dinosaurs, still dinosaurs, like dinosaurs, they were the best, and like the hard sciences in the child format. So those were my interests, and my point here being that I didn't engage in typical boys activities, but I also didn't engage in typical girls activities. And at the time it didn't really matter, but my what shaped that part of my childhood, like when I was 10 to like 12 something years old, was well, Star Trek. Okay, it's going to be like kind of funny here, but they started to show it on TV, And while other girls were very into like girls magazines and like not like regular beauty stuff, but like beauty for children and some like I don't know, cartoons for girls, like because they started to target finally the audience, like the female audience. But I was very much into Star Trek, and it wasn't original series there. It was Next Generation, and I had like it made a huge impact on me because there were those two characters that I kind of didn't really identify with them, but I felt really close to them. The first one was Tasha Yar, and I kind of felt that she's sort of like my older sister. Like, didn't really like her, like I wasn't obsessed with her, I didn't really feel any like attachment to her, but I understood that she was somewhat similar to what I was. And another one, and it kind of like says it all, really, about who I was and how I was. The character I really felt very close to was Data, and yeah, that's like, I felt like he's my spiritual brother or something. So that should like give you the idea that I was really separated from both sides there. And another thing there, which again I didn't see mentioned often, I guess I haven't heard it ever, but in my life it happened quite a lot, and not only in my childhood, weirdly, but even when I became an adult it still happened. But when I was a child it happened a lot. People mistook me for a boy a lot. There are two reasons to that, I guess. First, I am pretty tall. I'm taller than an average male, and when I was a child I was even more so, I guess. And we also had this like family style thing running with my mother. She was wearing a short haircut, and I was wearing a short haircut too for a long time, and she didn't have any like jewelry, no earrings, no necklaces, no stuff like that, and me neither. I wasn't really interested because we were like a gang with my mom, and not so many dresses, more like pants and a t-shirt. So people mistook me for a boy quite a lot, and it was very, it bothered me a lot, actually. It was kind of troubling, because well, being a robot child there, I wasn't really good at communicating with people, and when adults mistook me for a boy, it was like a fucking horror experience for me, because imagine like I'm going to shop to buy something and I'm standing in a line there, and the seller addresses me and they say like, what do you want, boy? And I'm just frozen there, just like, what? Because well, they're wrong, I'm not a boy, and like probably I should tell them, but this is not what they asked from me. They asked me like what I want, what do I want to buy, but I'm not a boy, and should I like act and just answer and they will think that I'm a boy, or should I correct them even though it's not the thing they asked from me? So it was really confusing for me, and kind of like scary. And when children did that, it wasn't as scary and creepy, but it was like surreal, I guess is the word, because children wouldn't believe me. Other children would come to me and ask if I was a girl or a boy, and I would say I'm a girl, and they they would continue, but no, you cannot be a girl. You like, you have a short haircut and you're wearing pants and you're not a girl. And I was really perplexed by that thing, because how do you explain it? Well, now I obviously can, but when I was a child, it was like, how do you like convey to these children that I know who I am, I know fucking better than you do, and you should listen to what I'm saying. Like, you are asking me, I'm giving you my fucking answer. And I couldn't do it, and that response that I got from them was really, it was so weird for me. Like, I was just so confused by that, and that feeling that I couldn't, that I wasn't able to tell people that they were wrong, that I was perceived by other people as somebody else, not as me, and that's like how they wanted me to act, and that's how they saw me, and that I was not able to change that. That kind of shaped most of my future experience in a very weird but not a good way. And now I think I'm going to move to another video, like puberty video. So see you soon.